The date is March 29, 2026. Right now, the world is holding its breath as West Asia teeters on the very edge of a full-scale war. In just the last 48 hours, a series of events has unfolded so fast it's hard to keep up, and it's pushed the entire region to a breaking point. Global powers are being pulled in, and old alliances are starting to crumble. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how we got to this point, step by terrifying step.
And it all started with one single, explosive claim. Iran has just released satellite imagery from March 27th, and what it shows is staggering. They're alleging a successful strike on the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. But they weren't aiming for just any old target, no. They claim they hit something far, far more valuable.
So what was the target? According to Tehran, it was a US E-3 Sentry, an AWACS. Now, if you're not familiar, this is not just another plane. It's basically a flying command center, the eye in the sky, the strategic brain of an entire air campaign. Losing one is frankly a devastating blow. Now, stay to the end because some shocking things I'm going to reveal in this explainer. Let's get back to it.
To really put this into perspective for you, the US Air Force reportedly has only 16 of these E-3 Sentry units left in operation. So, if Iran's claim is true, this isn't just a tactical loss, it's a strategic catastrophe. Now, US Central Command has come out and denied any casualties, but they've been suspiciously silent about the plane itself. And in a situation like this, that silence, well, it speaks volumes. But this high-stakes game in the sky is already threatening to spill over onto the ground. Washington is now signaling that it's ready to climb the escalation ladder in a big way, moving from surgical strikes to the very real possibility of a ground invasion.
Word is the Pentagon is finalizing plans to deploy an additional 10,000 U.S. troops to the region. And get this force includes elements of the 82nd Airborne Division. You know, America's 911 force that they send in when things get serious. Let's be crystal clear. This is not a peacekeeping mission. This is preparation for war.
Iran's response? Well, it wasn't exactly diplomatic. It was a chilling, two-word headline splashed right across the front page of the Tehran Times. Welcome to hell. That's a message aimed not just at the White House, but at every single soldier heading to the region.
And this brings us to an absolutely impossible crossroads. On one hand, the stated U.S. goal is to conduct ground operations lasting weeks to find and dismantle missile facilities. On the other hand, Iran's warning is brutally simple. Any foreign soldier who sets foot on our soil will leave in a coffin. There's just no middle ground here, no room to negotiate.
And while the world is focused on the land and the air, a third front has just erupted at sea. The Persian Gulf is quickly turning into a kill zone. Iran is vowing revenge for past losses, and they are directly challenging America's naval power.
So what's their strategy? It's bold and it's asymmetric. The commander of Iran's Navy has openly threatened the USS Abraham Lincoln. He's seeking, in his words, blood for their warship, the Dina, which was sunk earlier this year. They're calling this Operation True Promise 4. And under this operation, they claim to have used kamikaze drone swarms to hit 6 U.S. tactical vessels and sink 3 of them. We're not talking about single drones here. A swarm is a coordinated, intelligent network designed to overwhelm a target's defenses. Now, the U.S. hasn't confirmed these losses, but the very use of this tactic is a total game changer in these waters.
This conflict, it's not staying contained in West Asia. The shockwaves are spreading thousands of miles away, and it's forcing other major powers, like India, to act fast to protect themselves from this spreading chaos.
So as soon as rumors of fuel shortages hit India, what happened? Total panic buying at the pumps. The government had to respond, and they responded swiftly with Operation Urja Suraksha, which means energy security. And this wasn't just a press release to calm people down, it was a massive logistical and diplomatic effort. In just a few days, they managed to confirm that 2 huge tankers carrying a combined 94,000 metric tons of energy had made it safely through the now dangerous Strait of Hormuz. The message was loud and clear. India will protect its energy lifeline no matter the cost.
But beyond just managing the immediate crisis, this conflict is forcing a much bigger, long-term strategic shift. Nations are suddenly realizing that the next war won't be won with just ships and soldiers, but with satellites and code. We're seeing brand new alliances being forged for this new digital battlefield.
And look at this, in a truly landmark move, India and Russia are now teaming up. They're building advanced labs for UAVs and satellites. But the key here is where they're building them, inside Indian universities. This is creating a powerful new ecosystem to master the very drone and satellite tech that's defining this conflict, while training a whole new generation of engineers for this new reality. And while India is forging new partnerships, other, older alliances, they're starting to crack under the pressure.
A pretty stunning report just came out in the Financial Times. It suggests that a deep rift is growing between Pakistan and its longtime ally, Saudi Arabia. It turns out that senior figures in Pakistan's military now see their defense pact with the Saudis not as a shield, but as a major liability.
So why this sudden change of heart? Well, it all boils down to what they call a failure of strategic deterrence. For Pakistan, the alliance was supposed to mean security in exchange for economic help. But the promised billions in Saudi investment, they never really showed up. And now, that defense pact, which could drag Pakistan into this war, is seen as a dangerous trap. Their goals are diverging, and Pakistan's military feels like the whole deal has become all risk and no reward.
But just as Pakistan's foreign policy is being thrown into chaos, a huge political crisis is brewing at home, and it's all centered on one of the country's most powerful military figures. This is where things get really interesting.
All right, let's look at the strange case of the former Army Chief, General Bajwa. The official story is that he had an accidental fall in a bathroom and is now in critical condition. But the rumors, the unconfirmed whispers flying around Islamabad, they paint a very different, much darker picture. They say this was no accident, but a targeted political move, and that the general might already be gone. The public is torn. Was it a tragic accident or a high-level conspiracy?
So what is it? A simple, tragic accident? Or are we witnessing a political purge at the very highest levels of a nuclear-armed state? The level of instability this one question adds to an already explosive region is, well, it's almost impossible to calculate.
Think about it. From a single drone strike to the threat of ground war to alliances fracturing and whispers of conspiracies, the entire global order is being redrawn in real time. The world we knew just a few weeks ago, it's gone. The old rules simply don't apply anymore.
The world is on a knife's edge. But I want to know what you think is the biggest unknown here. Is it the potential for a political purge in nuclear-armed Pakistan? Or is it the true cost of a ground war in Iran? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And to follow how this crisis unfolds, make sure you subscribe to this channel for the latest updates. Thanks for watching.